Now that all elements are painted in their monochrome style, let's see how we can harmonize the colors. Alright, this is how the figure looks now before we're going to harmonize the tones. And I think this is something that could happen quite easily actually if you just think of, okay, this is a nice skin tone that I'm going to use for my skin, this is a nice color for the suit, and this is a nice color for the book. You end up with something that looks quite additive. So in the next step we're going to introduce tones, for example the green here that we used in the book, introduce that in the face to bring the colors a little bit more together and to have that feeling that they all work together to deliver a nice overall harmonic color result. Okay, on the palette you can see we have the colors going on from before. We have all the tones that we've used. So in the next step we're going to introduce a little bit of the green in the face, and if you remember we used for the skin tone, we used that scar tissue color with a bit of black as a base tone, and we're also introducing a bit of green. That's the golden green from the model color Air, and that gives us quite an interesting tone actually. And we're thinning that down till we have like a medium glaze tone consistency, and we're first introducing that a little here more towards the shadow area. And it's important that it's really a thin glaze because you want to preserve all the work that you've been doing previously. So we're carefully glazing that in. And you can see in this stage it's really super important that we're working with a very thin glaze. So adding a bit more green here, also more water. And working a bit purer here, so more green and more of the scar tissue. I'm introducing the green here really in like the mid-shadow areas. We're also introducing a bit of that a mixture of the Roxic 10 that we've used for the shirt. A little bit of that skin tone also to harmonize things a bit more. Have to be careful that it's not too strong. So this is at the moment just mainly water here. Thinning that down a bit. Again, also a bit more green down here. And a bit more with the pure scar tissue. Okay, adding also a bit white here, going like a brighter tone. This way we don't really lose the highlights here. I'm also working a bit with that green here in the transition area, just this very, very light glaze here to the hair as well. Okay, also with a bit of that pale white tone that we've used for the shirt. I'm just carefully readjusting a little bit like the highlight area here. Yeah, I think the flesh color already works quite a lot better than before. I would still continue to balance things out a little, so this here appears a bit more green, so I want to make sure that I have reached the same level of tinting. And yeah, we'll just continue like that before we introduce another tone to kind of harmonize everything all together. Okay. Alright, this is how the skin looks now with the greenish glazes in place, and I really like the look, and I think it's already a lot more harmonic than before. One thing that we will also do is we'll add a little bit of blue glazes as well, because we've been using dark sea blue in the suit, and we will use the same kind of tone also to balance things out on the not blue elements. So first take a bit of the dark sea blue, thin it down, and we'll use it a little here on the green book, in the shadows, in the shadow colors. Yeah, and I think this already helps a lot actually to draw these two here together. I'll also take a bit of the blue and use that in the face. Alright, so far so good. I think we still need like a little bit more blue also on some of the metallic parts here to harmonize that. Also a tiny bit on the color. A tiny bluish reflection, and you want the colors to be really not all that visible. You just want to have like a little impact of that. Okay, so far so good regarding the tool of balancing the colors with another. You can also introduce a little bit of a green in the jacket as well, but here I think for our purpose this is just fine. One thing that I definitely want to add is I want to add one tone to all the colors, like an additional tone to bring a bit more warmth in there, and that is like the second tool that we're going to use. You can see here in the back of the palette I've added like a dark red brown. It could also be a bit more saturated depending on what you're going for regarding the look, but here I think for us this is just fine. This is Modeling Color Air Armor Brown. I think mahogany could have worked really well for this purpose as well. So adding that here to the red color zone of the face first to like determine the overall intensity. also here on the ears and under the cheeks. Okay, mixing it here a bit with that scar tissue. And we're also taking a tiny bit of the pure almond brown here. Okay, we're continuing here with that mixed tone of the scar tissue and tank brown. We're glazing that here over the knuckle area. Okay, I'm adding a bit of white here to kind of re-establish the highlight here on the knuckle, because that vanished a bit. But overall, we're just continuing here in the same manner, also introducing a bit of those rosy tones here, and we'll be back to introduce a little bit of those brown reddish glazes also to the suit. Alright. Okay, so this is how the figure looks now with more color variations established, and I really like the look of the skin already a lot. So one thing that I still want to do is I want to add a little bit of those red-brown glazes here also to the suit. I'm mixing that with black here this time. I'm glazing this here and there into some of the shadows. First placing it, then feathering it out a bit. Again, you don't want to go for like a color impact that is too visible. Just increase the harmony a bit by using the tone here generally over all the different elements. Okay, I think I would just continue with a tiny bit more glazes off cam, and we'll be back with the finished model. I hope you really enjoyed that video here. It was kind of hard for me to create something that is unharmonious on purpose and then trying to harmonize it after all. Usually I incorporate always already that thought of like the colors interacting already early in the process. But yeah, I think it's quite impressive to see how you can actually also like still change the look of a figure that you think could already be done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video and see you for the next project. Alright.